Hi, this is Noah Cantor with Advice from Young Tradesman TV, and today's video is going to be about replacing the little sockets on Festool sanders that get worn out, because that started happening to us in the field on our heavy use sanders this year. So we're going to go through a very quick and inexpensive fix on these bad boys. But first, we're going to thank the PCA for underwriting this video and helping painters like me produce content for people like you. So PCA, Painting Contractors Association, our trade association. They have industry standards. They have apprenticeship training videos. They are a resource for us. They care about us. They're talking about health insurance for us. There is a expo coming up in February 2022. First big in-person gathering they're hosting for an entire pandemic. So very excited about that. If you are a forward-thinking contractor, give them a look. So this video, why are we doing this? Don't know if this ever happened to you. It took me 5-6 years of heavy use to get to this point with these units. So this isn't like a these things break video. It's a, yeah, I wore the hell out of these things, and this is how you do some maintenance fixes on it now. So what was happening in the field on these heavy use days is we'd be working and we'd hear, and sometimes they'd putter out. And at first we were like, what's going on? Is it like the mechanics? Is it the vacuum? Like, there's a whole line of things going on. Dig a little deeper, talk to some people, and turns out it is the attachment here. And you can see how it's a little wiggly, right? So there is supposed to be some play here, but over time when you're using the same hoses, and we all put them in crazy angles, right? These, even with that lock, things are gonna get a little wiggly, wonky, and loosen up. When things loosen up in these electrical connections, things arc, things don't connect as well, and you can just lose that contact. So we did have a few of these that just straight up burnt out. So we tossed those, got some new ones, but that still doesn't resolve the fact that this socket inside is probably a little worn. And it turns out Festool has a solution for that. Each sander has a particular socket based on the item number. We will provide those in the description. The ones for the RTS 400 also work for a lot of other finish sanders. One thing I love about Festool, their stuff rarely breaks. When it does, a lot of the time you can solve it yourself very cheaply. These were all like between $7 and $10, believe it or not. So we're gonna burrow into each of these sanders and see how easy it is to replace these. So for the ETS150, little Phillips head, and it looks like 4 screws. Two more little screws. Okay. Okay, so I dusted off the innards here. That was likely redwood dust. So as you can see, new one, old one, comes with an obviously shorter one. That's the one for the more direct line, whereas this has to loop around. So I will make sure that's on the correct side. Insert the contact. Nice and tight, but not too tight. This one loops around. Okay. Now, pretty obvious which way it goes. Looks like that. This is the part where it feels like the wires don't fit, but you know they do. There they go. Okay, had to pack those down a little further than I thought. So I'm putting these as tight as possible without them kind of torquing it to one side or the other, because remember, every time we connect to this, we're twisting it. So these are the things that are really resisting that, as well as this hexagonal fitting that it has. But we're gonna... Okay, so realized I put this in oriented 90 degrees the wrong way. I was wondering why that was so annoying to do, and that is because I did it the wrong way. And in hindsight, it's very obvious these little U things are for tightening screws. So we're just gonna pop these guys out and rotate it. There's even that slot to make it so the screws, so that this wire can sit down right in there. So now we're happy. Okay, we're gonna get this thing screwed up. Okay. And that fits much, much nicer. All right, let's see how we did. Nice tight casing. Oh yeah, much less wiggle and play. That's a beautiful sound. Yeah, with the exception of that little end that took a tiny bit of finagling, super easy replacement. Let's see about the RTS 400 now. We're gonna remove it, same thing, hex to come out. Okay, let's see this setup. So, similar in the sense that these two screws are holding this in place. We want to make a note of where this edge is relative to that. That was a thing that I got slightly hung up on the 150 because it wasn't fitting as naturally. So we're going to note that. Again, these sanders are the heavy use ones. These things don't owe me anything. This is the first maintenance I've done on them in hundreds of hours of work. Ooh, where is this going? Okay. Okay, so we're noting that this was on top and these were jammed down into there. Again, can you figure it all out by just kind of cramming and trial and error? Yes, but in my mind, with electrical connections, you want to do as little of that as possible. So, wow, this is interesting. Okay, so this one is wedged into there too. All right, that's actually pretty nice. Okay, that looks like baby Phillips head. Okay, and again, this one is RTS, it's ETS, it's DTS, it's the LS. So, same length, doesn't seem to matter which one goes where. Again, hand tight, we're not cranking this. Once it's crammed down there, it is not going to get a lot of force. Hand tight, verify that they're not going to fall out. Great. So now we can kind of look at this thing for clues on how to bend it. So first we want to dog leg this way and hopefully get this thing back in. And this has to go, remember this has to go under there so it can actually turn on. Otherwise that's not going to work too well. This thing never moved, so we're just gonna cram that down. And then we have this whole setup. So let's say about an inch from we're gonna do a weird little bend. And how did that come through? Through here. And then those tucked into there. So I seem to remember the part that's jammed under there being on top, but I don't get the sense that that's gonna matter too much. And you know, less is more, I think, with jimmying around and bending wires. So I think I'm gonna call this good. And get these screws in. Make sure this is seated so that these screws go here and here. It doesn't work like that, it works like that. And I think it actually started the opposite way, but this is just how the wires want to go, and it doesn't really matter which way it's oriented if the wires in there are happy. Nice even reveal. All right, test it up. Nice lock. That is a really noticeably tighter fit. And we're happy. So there's a lot of reasons to like the Festool line, other than, you know, supreme quality, this and that, efficiency, dust collection, blah, blah, blah. Really easy to DIY, fix a lot of things, and very cost effective. If you haven't seen it already, I have a video of me replacing Festool MIDI, one of the OG ones, the turbine in it. And I think I ordered it for like 150 bucks, and it was a really intuitive, easy fix too, instead of buying a whole new MIDI. So I've only sent in one tool to be fixed at actual Festool, and you know, that's all well and good, but you're without the tool for a while. So remember, you can usually order a replacement part to you and fix things very easily with this line. So do some Googling, talk to your local supplier. Mine is really good at digging up little parts like this. So great brand for a lot of reasons. This is another one of them. So hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions. Comment down below, subscribe, all that stuff. And if you want to chat, DMs at Advice from a Young Tradesman on Instagram is the best place to do it. Thanks again for watching.